It's called a homicide unit in the Harris County DA's office. 12 prosecutors assigned to homicide cases that have been in the system and creating a backlog that often means, as I was looking at the news conference, said from 6 years from the time there's an arrest to a conviction. I saw you say that. And you said that you've made a 21% dent in the numbers of cases waiting. And it sounds like it's been almost like a losing battle up to this point. It's challenging just trying to keep up, is it not? The number of cases you have every day.
Well, yeah, our prosecutors have tremendous caseloads, but judges control the scheduling of trials. And I created the unit to push these trials, to request faster trials, to file preferential motions so that we can get victims the justice they deserve and get the dangerous killers, the highest risk offenders we have, either off the street if they're on bail or out of jail if they're in jail and on to prison.
And this is something that victims were really concerned about because they see the people who were accused sitting in jail not being prosecuted. So there's pressure from that standpoint. And there's just a pressure from the standpoint that you have officers who made the arrest maybe are retiring. Witnesses' memories after a period of time.
DNA, phone experts. These pieces of evidence are now critical to almost all prosecution. And we see employees leaving those places. They're hard to find 5, 6 years later. Sometimes they're not willing to testify. Same for fact witnesses. They may be threatened. And as for the victims, often they live in the same neighborhood where the defendant is on bail. It's insult upon injury. And so there's also another way to look at it. Defendants who may be innocent or have their cases dismissed for lack of sufficient evidence, we want to get to those cases as well. So it's just a fairness effort, and it's designed to reduce our backlog.
And a lot of things going into play there. You mentioned somebody who's out on bail in the community. I know there was a big issue about that, about people released on bail. That's part of our system going forward here. But how worried are you, the process that you are using to get the backlogs? What is the the deals are being cut? Somebody who's a serious offender, you're concerned about what kind of deal is cut in order to make this case get to trial?
Well, we're always concerned that we get the right punishment and the right verdict.
And I probably should not have used deals cut. That's probably not the right way to
Plea bargaining is dimly viewed by the public, but it is widely used by prosecutors across the country because you can only move cases 3 ways, and it is a sure deal for both sides. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a wrong term. Our violent criminals just don't plead to 50 years or life without parole. We have to try those cases. The cases that we plea bargain on, possession of drugs, we move them into treatment programs on probation. Minor crimes, we move them into programs that clean up the environment, let's say if they're litterers. But serious crimes, no, I'm not worried. I think our prosecutors do a good job about prioritizing. That's why I created a squad of our most experienced prosecutors who are instructed to go get these cases finished, one way or the other.
Now, you got those people working on that. That's a lot of extra focus on that, which is, of course, how's that add to the budget? I mean, how do you pay for that to get that, make that happen?
No, my budget is always a matter of contention. I say it's not enough. The Commissioner's Court says it is, and it's not. We clearly need about 100 more prosecutors. Until then, I'm going to prioritize our cases. We're going to take the most violent, dangerous people and get them tried first. And the low end, the nonviolent, we want to move back into the workforce faster. Mm-hmm. But it's not a priority when you don't have enough people. So in a sense, this lack of funding contributes to a slowing down of the process because we're a choke point. We're the moving party. So I'm just trying to respond and be proactive with contemporary problems hurting our community. Murder is one, and fentanyl is another, leading to more deaths than murder. Mm. But we had over, 550 murders just last year. So while things are perhaps getting better since the pandemic, they are at a high in terms of violent crime over a long period of time.
Well, you've had a lot going on. You just had a lot the last couple of weeks announcing these things that are going on. You guys have been working. Yes. It's kind of like churning underneath the water while we've just kind of going about our lives when you're dealing with 300 some odd cases per day. Are you getting ready to run. Are you going to run for this position again?
Yes, I am. I'm going to run for a third term for district attorney. I'll announce in early May. That's the anniversary of me becoming a lawyer.
Well, I think you just announced.
Well, I think you got me. Yes, I was going to announce in early May. I think we've done it.
Well, unofficially, you're planning on doing it.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, it sounds like it's a challenge, but you sound like you're really enjoying what you're doing.
So, as you know, Khambrel, crime is what I've always been interested in, particularly how do we help crime victims? How do we prevent more victims? How do we help more victims? And how do we make our community safer? It's always been my interest. I really have believed that we have done so at the district attorney's office, but with more funding for the labs, for law enforcement, for things that make our system simpler and faster, I think government is failing there. And so that's why I'm often at Commissioner's Court asking, pushing for more funds, because the public needs protection. And I think the business community is waking up to that. And, you know, a city that's crime-ridden is not attractive to new businesses. We know we have a lot of new people coming in. Houston is a place of great opportunity, and it must be safe.
Thank you. District Attorney Kim Ogg, thank you for coming in this morning and early announcing you're going to run for election again. We like you. It just kind of came to me, to answer.
Hey, and the truth is the truth. Yes, I'm running.
Got it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.